package. What I really mean to say is, ain't no off season.
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to No Off Season Media, and today we got a mock draft to discuss. And with this one, this is my first mock draft ever, and this will be fun for me. So here we go. With the first pick, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars, and this is a no-brainer. Come on, this is a great player compared to Andrew Luck and John Elway. He's going to be a great player. I think he's going to be a phenomenon in the league. So let's just get it over with. And the first overall pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Trevor Lawrence, quarterback, Clemson. He's going to be an heir apparent for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he will be a face of the league. Yes, you heard me. He's going to win the AFC South, potentially. The Jacksonville Jaguars have won the AFC South since 2017. And I think this young man can do it if, and only if, they surround him with talent. With the second pick is the New York Jets. Now, this one is kind of tricky because the Jets were talking about potentially building around Sam Darnold, and then now they're talking about we're going to ship Sam Darnold. So one of these teams I'm predicting here to take a quarterback may get Darnold, but this is before I know that Darnold gets selected. So let's just theorize that potentially Sam Darnold does not play for the Jets or be in a Jets uniform. All right, so check this out. The second overall pick, the New York Jets select, hold it, Zach Wilson, quarterback, BYU. With the third pick, this was originally the Houston Texans pick, but they traded away for Laremy Tunsil, who is, I haven't heard his name in the papers for about a while as far as great talent, but this is the third pick. And the Dolphins, well, let's think about the Dolphins. The Dolphins, after Tua Tagovailoa last year, the offensive line has not been playing particularly well. He played god-awful against the Buffalo Bills. Now everybody's talking about getting rid of Tua. This don't make no sense to me. Tua is a rookie, okay? Let's think about this. Tua had a subpar offensive line. The defense was carrying him. Give him time. Tom Brady wasn't playing that well, and he had a good defensive team. And eventually, we call him the GOAT. So let's give Tua a little bit of time. I'm not saying Tua is going to be the GOAT, but let's give these rookies a little bit of time. I'm not saying that Tua's Josh Rosen, but just give him a little bit of chance. Build around the player before you just ship him out. So I think Tua needs help at the wide receiver position. This is between three players: Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, and Devontae Smith. It just takes smart to take an LSU receiver. We've seen OBJ. We've seen Jarvis Landry. Justin Jefferson, who's playing well over there in Minnesota. Yes, LSU wide receivers work in the league. Why do GMs don't take LSU wide receivers? They play phenomenal, and especially in the South, wide receivers have been playing, and tight ends, offensive players have been playing well in the South. So with the third pick, the Miami Dolphins select Jamar Chase, wide receiver, LSU. With the fourth pick, we have the Falcons. And you have to understand about the Falcons is that every single person has them taking a quarterback. They don't need a quarterback. They need somebody on the defense. Think about it. When has Matt Ryan regressed over the 2020 season? When? Because he's been putting up numbers on the Raiders, numbers on the Broncos, numbers even on the Chiefs. Well, not the Chiefs, but that Chiefs was a low-scoring game. But they have been playing very well on offense. Why do you need to take a quarterback? Explain to me. Why do the Falcons need to take a quarterback? Please explain to me. Why? It don't make no sense. You know what they need to do? They need to draft somebody on defense. The Falcons are negative $14 million under the cap. So what does that mean? They're going to release some defensive players. Deontay Fowler, I think he's going to leave. So what does that mean? Deontay Fowler, he plays for, guess what? An edge position. What's that? On defense. So the Falcons, they need help at the edge rusher anyways. Tad McKinley is pretty much a disappointment. So, and he's not even in Atlanta, so there's no even point of that. So what have the Falcons taken? It's an edge rusher. It's between pretty much Gregory Rousseau, Jalen Phillips, and Kwity Paye. So I think that they're fine. They just need defensive players. They don't need a quarterback. So with the fourth pick, with the 4th pick, the Atlanta Falcons, who blow leads because of their defense, drafts Gregory Rousseau, edge rusher, out of Miami. The U. God, why are these people taking quarterbacks? It don't make no sense. The Falcons don't have a problem on offense. It's a defensive problem. Dang. Matt Ryan is 30, what is it, 34, 32? Whatever age he is. He looks younger than he actually playing. The Cincinnati Bengals are the 5th pick. And Joe Burrow has been playing phenomenal. Now, Cincinnati will always remain as a doormat of the NFL. And you know why? Because they get players and they don't build around them, or they have a culture issue. With this, what's the problem with this Cincinnati Bengals team? They need to build around Joe Burrow. He was getting bum rushed all over the field. You have to protect your quarterbacks. Think about it. The Eagles bum rushed him. I remember that one play he had against the Eagles where he nearly got, that was a bad hit there. And then he got injured against Washington. Torn ACL. It was a nasty injury. Don't even want to think about it. They need to surround him with talent. So they need an offensive lineman. This between Penei Sewell and Rashawn Slater. Okay? Oregon or Northwestern? Oregon or Northwestern? I'm going to just take the guy that everybody projected to go higher, and I'm going to take Penei Sewell here. It helps the Bengals on their offensive line. The Bengals haven't had a great offensive line since Andrew Whitworth was there, and he eventually left and went to the Rams in 2017. So, with the 5th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Penei Sewell, offensive tackle, Oregon. With the 6th pick, this is the Eagles. And the Eagles had an interesting offseason. Got rid of their head coach, Doug Peterson. Got rid of their potentially franchise quarterback in Carson Wentz. Regressed badly because you didn't build around Carson Wentz. And it was because of ACL and pretty much being in Nick Foles' shadow. I mean, the Eagles, now they have Jalen Hurts. They got their own version of Russell Wilson that they believe, because Howie Roseman won and hit Russell Wilson back in 2012. So now he has his own Russell Wilson. And now they got Jalen Hurts, and now they need to build around him. Please give this man a wide receiver. You have to give him a wide receiver. You're ready got the offensive line all jacked up because you're ready getting rid of Brandon Brooks now and potentially Andre Dillard. But you need to give him a wide receiver. I'm sorry, this is a wide. They need to get somebody to help Jalen Hurts. You already screwed over Jalen Hurts last year by pulling him out of the Week 17 game. Keep building around Jalen Hurts, please. Build around Jalen Hurts. So with the 6th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Jalen Waddle, wide receiver. It's going to help the Eagles. This is going to help the Eagles greatly. They need wide receiver help after getting rid of Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson. Help Jalen Hurts. Please. Please. My Jalen Hurts rants are hurting my head. Oof. We have the Lions, who are also the doormat of the NFL. And Matthew Stafford, their franchise quarterback, he's gone. He went to the Rams. And now they got Jared Goff, who has really regressed over the course of the 2020 year. Lost to the Jets. And just on these games that make no sense. So that's not the here or there. But the Lions, see, everybody has taken a quarterback here. I don't have taken a quarterback. They need help defensively. Matt Patricia came over there and just pretty much dismantled the whole entire Detroit Lions team. And Detroit plays in a dome, and they have them do practice outside in the snow, which makes entirely no sense. Half of their games are in the dome, so that made no sense to me. But the Detroit Lions, they need wide receiver help. They need linebacker help. Now, the reason why they need wide receiver help, because Kenny Galladay is gone. He didn't get the franchise tag. So I don't think he's coming back. So you need to pick somebody in the free agency, Detroit, and find out who's going to play for wide receiver for you. Maybe go and take whoever they pick up. I really don't care. But I think they need to go defense here. They need a leader on that defense. Jamie Collins is just not the guy. I'm sorry. He's just not a leader. You've seen him over there in Cleveland. Haven't been really a leader. Came back to New England. Great. That's phenomenal. What else can you do? So you need a young guy to catalyst to be that defensive player. You can even drop a corner here. They just released Justin Coleman, the former Patriot and Seahawk. They released him and Desmond Trufant. So I can see him dropping a corner here. But you got to get a linebacker. Might as well get the best linebacker in the draft. With the 7th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Micah Parsons, linebacker, Penn State. We have the Carolina Panthers at pick number 8. Now this one is very interesting. People have them taking offensive tackles. A lot of people have them taking a quarterback. Now, could they get Deshaun Watson and bring him here? Who knows? But I do have him taking quarterback here. It just makes sense. Now, it's between Justin Fields and kind of Trey Lance here. It's like, pros and cons. Like, who has the best potential here? Who has the best athleticism? But I think they both need help. And with the number 8, I think with Teddy Bridgewater potentially getting his arse kicked out the door already, I think that the Panthers do need help at that position. But think of mind this, even though the Panthers went 5-11, did you know that they had 7 one possession losses and almost beat Kansas City in Kansas City? Did you think about that either? Oof. I think the Carolina Panthers are in a step in the right direction, especially offensively. They drafted all defense last year. Let's start building all offense this year. With the 8th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State. Let's give him some time to be good. I know Ohio State's quarterbacks don't pan out in the league, but let's give Justin Fields some time to understand about this. They could pretty much do a Patrick Mahomes deal in the NFL. So let him learn a little bit for about a year and then throw him into the fire. Give him about a year. We have the Denver Broncos at the 9th pick. This one is going to be very interesting because I can't stand the Broncos. But the Broncos, their defense has not been playing well. Drew Lock is pretty much regressing. He's the 5th best quarterback in that division. I might even drop him down to 6th. I think that Mariota and Chad Henne is better than Drew Lock. I know that's a hot take, but I think it may be true. I might even say Tyrod Taylor's better than Drew Lock.
Stop the cap.
With this pick, they have to go on defense. Vic Fangio is on his last legs, all losing seasons. He might be on his way out or is already on his way out. So with this pick, they have to draft a corner or a linebacker. You just saw the best linebacker in this draft get taken at number 7. So you have to presume that they take the best corner in this draft. It's between Patrick Surtain and Caleb Farley, but you have to take one of these players. So with the Denver Broncos with the 9th pick in the NFL Draft of 2021, the Denver Broncos select Caleb Farley, Virginia Tech defensive back. This will definitely help them after the loss of Chris Harris Jr. the year prior. The Dallas Cowboys, who have been a spiral of a year, losing Dak Prescott, finally getting his money paid. There you go. Congratulations, Dak. Hey, I wouldn't have signed the deal because I'd rather play for a better organization. And Jerry just said that he overpaid for you. So I'm not too happy to be in Dallas if I were you. But congratulations, you're a Cowboy for the next 4 years. Congratulations, Dak. You're not making the Super Bowl. You hear me, Cowboy fans? You are not making the Super Bowl. Not making it. So, yeah. But the Cowboys, they need defensive help. And with that cap space problem, overpaying for Zeke, overpaying for Amari Cooper, overpay. Yes, you overpay for all your players. We know that. You overpay for good, not great players. But they need defensive help. And the loss of Byron Jones really showed on the Dallas Cowboys. And they need a corner to help them. And I know they drafted Trayvon Diggs last year. They need more help on the defensive end, especially in the cornerback position and the safety position. So there's only another good corner in there between Patrick Surtain and J.C. Horn. But I like the Cowboys to take this corner specifically because we've seen great defensive backs come from this school. When we've seen Minka Fitzpatrick, I can't even think wasn't Eddie Jackson from this school, I believe he was. you have to take this corner. So with the 10th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Patrick Surtain II, defensive back, Alabama. Now the Giants are coming off a 6-10 season. Daniel Jones, I don't know what to make of Daniel Jones, but he lost Saquon Barkley last year and Golden Tate, and he only had a good receiver in Darius Slayton, but I don't believe that Daniel Jones is a great kind of quarterback. I don't think he is, and if I'm Dave Gettleman, I give him one more year. If he doesn't perform well in this year, if he can't get out from the bottom two, well, I mean, they finished second last year, but that division was awful. Let's be real. But I think the New York Giants are probably looking to helping Daniel Jones, and I'm going to have him help him. But think about this. If he doesn't do it, I'm bailing on him. So I'll give him a wide receiver, and there's only one good wide receiver left for here. And the Giants, they need defensive help from a linebacker, but I think they're fine because they got Blake Martinez. So with the Giants, I have them selecting with the 11th pick. I have them selecting wide receiver Devontae Smith, Alabama. We have the 12th pick with the 49ers, and this is very interesting because I have no clue what's going on with the 49ers. Potentially moving off Jimmy Garoppolo, potentially staying with Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's get rid of him. Let's trade him to New England. Let's say yada yada this, yada yada that. I do not know what's going to happen with the 49ers. They need help. They need help with a corner because who knows what happens with Richard Sherman over the free agency period or whatever. But let's go with a quarterback because it just makes sense because you guys are so inconsistent about who's going to keep Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm hearing one thing, I'm hearing another. Maybe they keep Jimmy, maybe they don't. Maybe they trade Jimmy to New England and get a second round pick or something. I don't know what's up with the Niners. I don't know. So I'll give them a quarterback here so they can learn under Jimmy or before they kick him, give him the back door. The 49ers at the 12th pick select quarterback Trey Lance, North Dakota State. We have the Chargers, who came off a 7-9 season after giving Anthony Lynn the back door on that one, after getting a 45-0 loss to New England and then beating Kansas City and then still getting fired. Now they have a new defensive head coach that doesn't help Justin Herbert. Just want you guys to know that defensive coaches don't help young quarterbacks unless they're a defensive-driven team. What they need to do is build around Justin Herbert. So give him an offensive tackle, something that can help him. Because we already seen what happened with Burrow, that they need to help their quarterbacks. Please give these quarterbacks some help. They're very young. And Herbert got Offensive Rookie of the Year, which is great. Let's give Herbert some more help. Let's give him an offensive tackle. With the 13th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Chargers selecting Rashawn Slater, offensive tackle, Northwestern. The number 14, we have the Vikings, and the Vikings are went 7-9 and didn't play particularly well, and they needed some defensive help badly. They gutted the whole entire defense with all the opt-outs and everything, and the injuries on defense, especially with corners. After Xavier Rhodes left and Trey Waynes left to Cincinnati, they really need help defensively for the Vikings. They had problems getting to the quarterback, especially when you play a division with Rodgers. Now Russell Wilson's apparently not going to Chicago. So whoever Chicago's quarterback's going to be, maybe Nick Foles or whoever they pick up. And then now you have Goff. Goff struggles against interior and outside pressure. So they need to get somebody off the edge to help them. And why not get another guy from the U with the 14th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft? The Minnesota Vikings select Jalen Phillips, edge rusher, the U. The 15th pick, my New England Patriots. I'm not selecting Mac Jones, so we can just go ahead and put that to bed. We're not selecting Mac Jones in the first overall pick. Let's be real. But the New England Patriots, they need help at quarterback. They need help at wide receiver. But that's they getting rid of N'Keal Harry, who's largely a disappointment and a bust. But They need help at the tight end position. They need help at wide receiver. They need help pretty much anywhere on offense. They just traded for Trent Brown, who's going to be a great player, and they maximize his cap salary to be 1 year, $11 million. So New England has a third most cap space in the league. We'll see what they do with the players come back from opt-outs and everything and help out the defense, potentially getting rid of Stephon Gilmore. But that's not the point. That's not the point. This point is pretty much about who the Patriots are going to draft at the 15th overall pick. And it has to be a tight end because they need a pretty much a player like Darren Waller. And think about this. If Cam Newton comes back, what was his number one target when he was in Carolina? Greg Olsen. He was a tight end, pretty much a deep threat tight end, pretty much like a receiver type tight end that can actually block. That's what the Patriots need, pretty much the replacement of Gronk. And I have the Patriots. They get Cam Newton back, and they just need help. That's all they just need. This all gets something to help the Patriots get the ball down the field. With the 15th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Kyle Pitts, tight end, Florida. They need help, and they're gonna get it. The Cardinals, who came off an 8-8 season, now has J.J. Watt. I went with the Cardinals. They need offensive help. They got D-Hop. Larry's gone. They got Andy Isabella. They got Christian Kirk. They need offensive help because think about the division here. You're in San Francisco where they have Nick Bosa and Javon Kinlaw. Then you have the Rams. You have to deal with Aaron Donald. Who knows if Leonard Floyd stays there. And you have Michael Brockers. Seattle's pass. They don't have pass rush. Never mind. So I think they need help. And why not get an offensive tackle? It's potentially between Christian Darrisaw and Vera Tucker from USC. With the 16th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Christian Darrisaw, offensive tackle, Virginia Tech. The Las Vegas Raiders came off of a 8-8 season. John Gruden may be on the hot seat, even though they paid him 10 years, $100 million. Now they're talking about getting rid of Carr, and then they said, no, we want to keep Carr. Raiders, make up your mind, please. Raiders, make up your mind. But that's not the problem with the Raiders. The problem with the Raiders is their defense. They can't hit home on these quarterbacks. You have Patrick Mahomes, and you got Justin Herbert. Trash-ass Drew Lock. But you have all these players that are great on the offensive quarterback systems. They play really well, and especially you gotta get to Patrick Mahomes. I'm sorry, you got a great running back, you got a great tight end, you have subpar receivers, you have an subpar offensive line. You just need to get to the quarterback. So you gotta draft a pass rusher here. I'm not saying this guy's gonna be Khalil Mack, but just get some pressure up in there. So with the 17th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Kwity Paye, edge rusher, Michigan. With the 18th pick, we got the Miami Dolphins. With the Dolphins, they already got their wide receiver. Now they need to get their defensive player. They just let go of Kyle Van Noy, who I think is going back to New England. Just makes too much sense. The systems of New England and Miami, from Brian Flores to Bill Belichick, it just makes too much sense for Kyle Van Noy to go over there. But this is about the Dolphins. They need to draft Kyle Van Noy's replacement. And why not go cheaper on a guy who plays similar to Kyle Van Noy? I think they should go after this player from Notre Dame. The Miami Dolphins, with the 18th pick, select Jeremiah Nwosu Koromoa, linebacker, Notre Dame. With the 19th pick, we have the Washington football team. And with this, I think they got their guy. I believe they do. And that is Taylor Heineke. So this is interesting because Washington, they did win a division, and it was a bad division. And the Eagles weren't good, and the Dallas wasn't good, and the Giants weren't good. And you got backdoor cover, but 7-9 because Doug Peterson decided to rest Jalen Hurts. But I think they need wide receiver help. I think they could potentially draft Mac Jones here, but I think why not they get Mac Jones in the second round? Or they could trade for Darnold. Who knows? I think they can get Darnold here. It makes sense. I don't think they're going to trade a first round pick, but I think they can get a second round pick in there and get Darnold. But I think they draft a wide receiver because I think they're going to get Darnold. and Taylor Heineke and have them two battle out and see who plays. I have them taking wide receiver. So the Washington football team with the 19th pick, I have them taking Kadarius Toney, wide receiver, Florida. And with the 20th pick, the Chicago Bears, who I don't even know what's going to happen with Mr. Trubisky, Nick Foles, with Khalil Mack. And I thought they were going to get Russell Wilson. I thought they were going to get him. But apparently they're not going to get him because they just lost interest in Russell. But I believe that the Chicago Bears should draft a wide receiver because they needed help after Wims and Mooney and all these other players. And Allen Robinson is there. They still need wide receiver help. With the 20th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Rashad Bateman, wide receiver, Minnesota. And the Indianapolis Colts, who got Carson Wentz, congratulations. Now potentially T.Y. Hilton's going to be gone, but they got a lot of cap space. The defense has been playing very, very well. I think they need some help on defensively, but I think they need help Carson Wentz with offensive line because after the loss of Costanzo, I think they need help somebody within the guard/tackle area. And there's only one great player from USC that I think that could fill that void of that. So with the 21st pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, which will help Carson Wentz, something that the Philadelphia Eagles didn't do in the 2020 NFL season, the Indianapolis Colts select Elijah Vera Tucker, offensive tackle, USC. All right. The Tennessee Titans, who are next on my list with the 22nd pick, it's going to be very interesting because they just let it go of Malcolm Butler. So I think they need defensive back help, especially in that secondary, and let go of Kenny Vaccaro too. But I think they need a defensive back to help them. So there's only one defensive back that I think there's actually three that can potentially go there. It's either J.C. Horn, Gregory Newsome II, or even Afedi Melifanu. This one's very interesting. I got this one. This is going to be a good one here. It was the 22nd pick of the 2021 NFL Draft. The Tennessee Titans select J.C. Horn, defensive back, South Carolina. With the 23rd pick, the New York Jets are here. They need to select. This is what happened with the Jamal Adams trade. When Seattle traded their first-round pick, and I think they traded the first-round pick next year, they need help with defensively because Lamar Jackson, yes, there's a cornerback named Lamar Jackson. He's just not the guy. He's an undrafted guy. So I think that the Jets, what they should do is help in the defensive back to help Marcus May, and the New York Jets need to draft a DB, and that's between Newsome and Melifanu. With the 23rd pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Jets select Gregory Newsome II, defensive back, Northwestern. Oh, the Steelers, the Steel Curtain. This is going to be a good one. So the Steelers came off of an 11-0 season and dropped the ball winning one game and got blown out by the Browns at the wild card round. I think they lost 48-37, if I'm correct. I think they should take a quarterback here, but I don't think they will because they're so committed to Ben. I don't know why they're so committed to Big Ben, but I don't think they do. Let's give Ben some help. Because Steelers have been complaining that they don't have their own Le'Veon Bell and they can't run the ball and James Conner not the guy and they need all its help. So we'll give Big Ben a help. So here, Ben, I'll give you a little bit of a help. How about this? Since you need a running back, I got you. With the 24th pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, because Ben needs help, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Najee Harris, running back, Alabama. Congrats, Steelers fans. You finally got somebody to help since you guys be complaining too much. Steel Curtain, right? Rise up. Here we go. You guys should take a linebacker. That's just me because y'all losing Bud Dupree. But no, y'all need running back help. The Jacksonville Jaguars are next on the list, and their 25th pick. And I think they need linebacker help. And the only linebacker that I see is a guy out of Missouri. And this guy is going to be, I think he's going to be great. If he could just be a leader on this Jacksonville Jaguars team, I think he'll be fine. But with the 25th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Nick Bowden, linebacker, Missouri. Okay, here's the Browns. This is going to be their first pick. This is going to be very interesting. So think about this. Cleveland was really in the interest of getting J.J. Watt, but they ended up not getting him. But I think the Browns should get an edge rusher because I think they're going to go after Matthew Judon from Baltimore, depending on Baltimore's cap situation there. So I think they're going to get this guy out of Georgia, who I think is really good. I think he's like rated as my third best or maybe even, fourth best edge rusher here. With the 26th pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select is Ayizi Ojulari, edge rusher, Georgia. Now we have the old Browns, which are the Ravens, who lost on the wild card matchup against the Buffalo Bills. I think they just need safety help. It just makes sense. The loss of Earl Thomas, I mean, it's not really a ding, but I think they really need help in that secondary because Ravens have always been a defensive team. There's no wide receiver except for one that I think the Ravens will probably want to draft here. They just don't want to overdraft them too high. But I think that the Ravens need help in the secondary because the Ravens are a running team, so they don't need no wide receivers anyways. So I think they should get this guy out of TCU, this safety. With the 27th pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Trayvon Moehrig, safety, TCU. The New Orleans Saints, who are known as NOLA and the Big Easy, have just lost a ton of players and had to release a ton of players because they were so much under the cap. So I think that they should get, and they just released Emmanuel Sanders. So they need a wide receiver here, or they need to draft Mac Jones, or whoever they're gonna get. They got Jameis Winston coming there, so Jameis Winston likes to throw balls to deep wide receivers, and he's always loved the deep ball and think and dunk. So I think the Saints should draft a hometown guy and a guy from LSU, a wide receiver. So with the 28th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Terrence Marshall Jr., wide receiver, LSU. The Packers here, they got burned by the Buccaneers, pretty much. I think they got hoed against the Buccaneers. That's just me saying that. But I think after the loss of Kevin King, because I think they're going to get rid of Kevin King. That's just me thinking about it, because he's been there 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, 4 years already. I don't think they're going to pick up his fifth-year option. But I think the Packers need to draft a defensive back to help Jair Alexander, and they need a wide receiver, and I think they can get Emmanuel Sanders. I know I predicted New England to go get Emmanuel Sanders, but Green Bay also has a shot to get Emmanuel Sanders, just something to help Devontae Adams, and that's what Emmanuel Sanders is a 2, not a 1. So I think the Packers, they need defensive back help because they keep giving up the deep ball too much. So here's one good guy out of Syracuse I like. With the 29th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Afidu Melifanu, defensive back, Syracuse. The Buffalo Bills are now on the clock, and this one's very interesting. The Buffalo Bills made the AFC Championship, but they lost after going up 9-0 on the Kansas City Chiefs, and just Kansas City got off and rolling. The Buffalo Bills, they need somebody to rush the passer because the problem was they couldn't get to Mahomes. They couldn't get that. If they just grab an edge rusher, I think Buffalo is in that Super Bowl, like a Super Bowl lock pretty much. But they were close. They just ran to Kansas City. And I'm pretty sure that game was played in Buffalo. I think it would be a little bit different. But they need an edge rusher. And there's only one edge rusher that I think in my mind that can help the Buffalo Bills get to the top. And with 30th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Carlos Basham Jr., edge rusher, Wake Forest. With the 31st pick is the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs got rid of Eric Fisher and Mitchell Schwartz. And so now their offensive line doesn't look that great, and they couldn't pay him. I wonder why they couldn't pay him. They paid Patrick Mahomes all that kind of money. Same thing's going to happen with the Cowboys, pretty much. I think the Kansas City Chiefs definitely got a hit on an offensive tackle. They can't hit any. I don't think they can get anybody. I don't think they can. So there's only one guy from Alabama that I can see the Chiefs drafting. With the 31st pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Alex Leatherwood, offensive tackle, Alabama. And with the last pick is the Buccaneers, who won the Super Bowl. Congratulations, Bucs, again. Congratulations. The Buccaneers, they need defensive tackle help or edge rusher. I have no clue what's going to happen with Shaquille Barrett. They just franchise tagged Mr. Godwin, Chris Godwin. So I think that the Buccaneers, they need to do something to help on that defense. It just makes sense for them to draft defense. It just makes a lot of sense. They can't pay all their players. They can't. They're already at $5 million under the cap already as far as we're speaking right now. So there's only a defensive tackle that I have them taking. The first defensive tackle actually in this draft that's going to get selected. The 32nd pick and the last pick of the first round, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Christian Barmore, defensive tackle, Alabama. And this concludes my 2021 NFL mock draft. So you can take a look here, what it is. Very interesting here. A lot of quarterback. Let me see how many quarterbacks I got. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty much 4 quarterbacks taken in the first round. Just something very interesting. The only one that got missed out is Mac Jones, and everybody predicts Mac Jones to go in the first round. I don't think he's going in the first round. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I think he's an early first round. I think Washington go snag him. I think New England go snag him. I even think the Saints can go snag him. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more daily, more content that I have like this. I'll be talking more about the NBA anytime soon because everybody's already putting their money on the Brooklyn Nets, and I'm going to tell you why you can't put your money on the Brooklyn Nets on that one, and why the 76ers can potentially stand in their way. But don't forget to follow us on social media accounts, Instagram, Twitter. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. This is your favorite sports broadcaster, and this is ImariSports. Stay safe. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.